Hello, Wonderhussy here. Would you like to see my box? Don't be silly, I'm not talking about that box. I'm talking about my new electrical box. That's right, my good buddy Terry, who's an electrician, has been out here slaving away in the Death Valley sun, upgrading the electrical on the casita so that I can finally get a mini split. You know, a mini split, heat pump, whatever you want to call it. The same thing we had put on the main house to keep it cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Well, I decided I'd like to have one of those for me on the casita because right now I'm just using a window air conditioning unit in the summer and then one of those old-fashioned radiators in the winter. And well, neither one of those is very energy efficient and our power bills are sky freaking high. So I thought it would make sense to get a mini split put on the casita as well. But the electrical here was pretty jacked up. Look at that. Terry's the only man I allow to fiddle with my box. Terry's the only man who can handle my box. Right, Terry? Anyway, the electrical at this place was pretty janky, and so he had to start all over here, which prior to this, there was just an RV power cord running from this box to the casita. So all winter long, my power was supplied by a big, thick extension cord. My sister was freaking out about it because every time it rained, she didn't want to be sitting in the water, and it wasn't a long-term solution. So Terry stepped in and, with the help of my sister, properly rewired the whole casita, running conduit all the way from the main junction box across to the laundry room and all the way around the back of the casita to where we're gonna put the mini split. Not an easy project if you've ever had experience pulling wire through conduit. It was pretty intense. I helped Terry do it yesterday and, well, we did a fine job, if I do say so myself. So the plan is I'm gonna call the good folks at Gunny's Heating and Air Conditioning in Pahrump, Nevada. They're the folks who did our mini split on the main house. Gosh, what is it now? 2-3 years ago? Can't believe how long I've lived out here. I'll bet you there's many of you watching that thought, those girls will never last a year out there. Well, guess what? It's been almost 3 years, and I'm still hanging out in Death Valley. And the only thing that's helped get me through it is drinking copious amounts of liquor. Kidding, this is our bottle pile. My sister plans to make a bottle wall. If you've ever seen one of those really cool walls where they stick the ends of bottles in it and the sunlight comes through and it looks like stained glass. That's what we are hoarding all these bottles for. So we didn't actually drink all this liquor ourselves. We had a couple friends donate us a whole bunch of bottles from, I think, a restaurant or something. So we've got a nice selection. I just organized them all the other day. They were just sitting here in a big jumbled pile, and I don't know. I mean, if we have to have a pile of bottles in the yard and look like big old alkies, well, they might as well at least be neatly organized and sorted by color, because this way we know what colors we have and what colors we need. Okay, you want a bottle wall to be nice and colorful, right? Well, unfortunately, you can see the vast majority of the bottles we have are just clear glass, and that's because Terry likes to drink Corona. Now, we tried to talk Terry into drinking Bud Light Platinum because it comes in a real pretty blue bottle, and unfortunately it's basically the only beer that does come in a blue bottle, but maybe rightly so, Terry absolutely refused to drink that swill. Apparently, what do I know? I'm not a beer drinker. Bud, Coors, Miller, it's all the same to me, but apparently to beer drinkers it is not all the same, and no one wants to drink Bud Light Platinum. And it's funny because our friends over at Villa Anita, they also like to build bottle walls. So anytime you go over there and they offer you a beer, you're getting Bud Light Platinum because they want blue bottles. So my sister and I did consider adopting that policy and just keeping our fridge stocked with only Bud Light Platinum for our visitors, but I don't know. I feel like with a policy like that, we might not get very many visitors. That being said, though, we need more blue bottles, and especially more Bombay Sapphire bottles. Those Bombay Sapphire bottles are the most beautiful shade of blue. So if you happen to know anyone who drinks, or you yourself drink, copious amounts of Bombay Sapphire, and you got a lot of empties, well, let me know. I'd be happy to take them off your hands. Okay, enough about our bottle pile. I was talking about the mini split. I'm gonna call Gunnies in the next day or two, and hopefully they can come out here and put that in within the next 2 or 3 weeks, because it's about to get super duper hot out here. We've been lucky. It's been relatively pleasant, and it's already, I'm shooting this on May 7th, I think. It's been actually pretty nice weather, but I think we have our first 100-degree day coming up next week, and so I'm gonna need that mini split. Spring has sprung, and summer is already on the way. Speaking of spring, look, there's a dove on top of our chandelier. I'm gonna zoom in because I want to freak her out. She laid eggs up there. She's sitting on her eggs, hoping that I won't mess with her. I do climb up on the picnic table here sometimes just to take a quick peek, but yeah, she's got 2 or 3 eggs up there. Little baby doves are about to hatch. I'm very excited to see that. And even more exciting, look at this. The cactus is blooming. Isn't that absolutely amazing? Look at this stunning flower that just burst forth from the tip of this unassuming, I don't even know what you call those little, you know, those plain cactus. Yeah, they're not fancy. They don't grow arms or anything like saguaros. They're just a long, skinny, kind of like a pickle looking cactus. I had no idea that, well, I guess now that I think about it, when I lived in Vegas, I actually brought this cactus with me from my house in Vegas. I think it did bloom every now and then. This is the first year it's bloomed up here. In fact, there's some other nodes from the same plant over here, and they're blooming too. Check this out. 2 of them. Oh my God, these are such an obscene, obnoxious shade of pink. I mean, golly, say what you will about the desert, man, but when it puts on a show, it puts on a show. Am I right, Roman Centurion? This is a helmet from that movie, Mom and Dad Saved the World, where I got that awesome dress that Terry Garr wore in the movie. I tried that on in a video a few weeks ago. In fact, I was even considering wearing that dress to the Witters Ball. I was going to go to the Witters Ball up in Mammoth. It's a big clamper party with my friend Vic Meyer. But unfortunately, they had to cancel the Witters Ball because of a lack of interest. How about that? I've actually had a number of cancellations lately, and it's very frustrating because say what you will about me, say what you will about the huss, I'm a huss of my word. If I say I'm going to do something, well, by golly, I do it. Now, of course, it wasn't Vic's fault that the Witters Ball was canceled. Couldn't sell enough tickets. But today, I was supposed to go up to the Alien Cat House brothel up on US 95 in the middle of nowhere, Nevada. I was supposed to go up there and shoot a video. One of the women who works there saw the video that I made at the Dovetail Ranch up in Carlin. I made that video last summer. I think I called it the best little hot spring in Nevada because it happened to be a brothel with a hot spring on the premises. Anyway, she saw my video of that and that I wasn't judgmental about those kinds of establishments. So she invited me to come up to the Alien Cat House and make a video. But then at the last minute, I guess she got cold feet. So I sort of find myself at a loss today. That's what I was supposed to do. Go to the Alien Cat House and shoot a video. And then while I was up there, I was supposed to meet with this British YouTuber who's doing some video about Area 51. I don't know. He wanted to interview me about Area 51. Well, I said, okay, well, I'm going to be up in that area anyway at the brothel. I can do an interview. Well, now the brothel fell through, but I still have this obligation to this British YouTuber. And so it's like, do I still want to drive 60 miles? It's a 60-mile drive to meet up with this guy? Or should I cancel on him? Absolutely not! I am a hussy of my word, after all. And I mean, what the hey? It's a beautiful day for a drive through the desert, and this will just give me a chance to check something out. Okay, hold on. This actually has nothing to do with where I'm going and what I'm going to check out. But I happened to see out of the corner of my eye as I was blazing along this lonely desert highway. Oh my gosh, look! There's wild horses out here. I have never seen wild horses in this area personally. But look at that. I'm going to zoom in because I don't want to freak him out. There's a whole bunch of wild horses hanging out peacefully grazing in this springtime meadow just outside Death Valley. One of the harshest, most inhospitable environments on Earth. Yeah, I don't want to freak him out, but maybe I can sort of peek at him through this bush. They won't see me if I hide back here. Look at that. Oh, what a beauty. Golly, who said Death Valley is devoid of life? As a matter of fact, who gave it the name Death Valley anyway? Just kidding, I already made a whole video about that. Anyway, I guess I shouldn't be surprised at the fact that there's wild horses here. I mean, we are just down the road from the Amargosa Opera House, you know, that famous opera house where that ballerina from New York danced for decades. And she was well known for feeding the wild horses in the area. So, I don't know, I guess I personally have never seen wild horses in my backyard. So I just got a little bit excited. But no, that's not what I wanted to check out. There's another thing I want to check out that happens to be on the way to where I'm meeting this British YouTuber at the Alien Cat House brothel. Man, for being out in the middle of nowhere, there sure is a lot of interesting stuff out here. Like that biker disappearing off into the distance, who just offered to fill my gas tank a little farther up the road at the Longstreet Casino. That's right, he's a viewer of the channel. He happened to see that I pulled over here and he wanted to make sure I was okay. Anyway, I better get back in my rig so I have enough time to check this place out before I have to meet this British YouTuber. Oh, hold on a minute. Well, I'll be if that friendly biker didn't leave $100 bill on my windshield. Wow, talk about generosity. I'm gonna go ahead and guess this is meant for gas money because, yeah, he did. He offered to fill my gas tank, but I told him, well, I'm not going to the Longstreet yet. I'm turning off before that because of this dang place that I want to go check out that I'm trying to get to. Anyway, I think he left this $100 here so I could fill my tank anyway. And so if you happen to be watching this video, friendly biker, thank you. Okay, anyways, back on the road and no more distractions. Yep, speaking of the Amargosa Opera House, there she is. But today I'm not going to the Amargosa Opera House. I'm actually hanging right here on State Line Road, which is kind of interesting because you can see there's even a sign here that says, watch out for wild horses. I don't know why I got so excited about those horses. Apparently everybody knows about them. Anyway, I hung a right because I'm headed to check out this place I've heard so much about recently, and not in a good way. Very interesting. Okay, the sign says hard hats required, so I guess I can't go beyond this point, but it doesn't matter because you can still get the idea. This is the site of a proposed and hotly contested Zeolite Mine. Okay, even though I can't get into the mine itself, maybe I can climb up on top of my car and at least give everyone a better idea of what all the fuss is about. Okay, if you're wondering what in the heck zeolite is, well, it's a mineral that's, I guess, mainly used to make kitty litter. That's right, kitty litter is made from this stuff called zeolite. I guess it's very absorbent, so it's not only used to make kitty litter, it's also used to soak up all kinds of ungodly industrial toxic spills. And I guess there's a big old zeolite deposit right out here in the desert, just outside Death Valley, and it's got some folks really heated up. Okay, I guess one issue is that this proposed zeolite mine is basically right in the middle, I think, of the Amargosa River. Okay, looking at this desert landscape in front of you, you might wonder, river? Well, I don't see any river. Well, if you know anything about the mysterious Amargosa River, it's a river that flows mostly underground, and so you can't see it for a lot of its course, but it does come up here and there from its headwaters up by Beatty, which is very lush and green. You can see standing water up there, all the way down to where I live in Tacoma and Shoshone, there's marshes and grasslands and hot springs and all kinds of above ground water. Well, the Amargosa River apparently flows, I think, right through the site of this proposed zeolite mine. And so one concern is that I guess they have to drill a bunch of, I think they said they're going to drill something like 52. Don't quote me on this. They're going to drill a bunch of exploratory holes to see if there's enough zeolite here. And well, I guess some folks are worried that when they drill these exploratory holes, they're going to somehow contaminate the groundwater or somehow mess up our water table. Which, again, where I live is right down that way. Okay, the other concern is that on the other side of the highway is Ash Meadows National Wildlife Refuge. Okay, Ash Meadows National Wildlife Refuge. I've made a few videos up there. It's another very hotly contested area where there's a lot of water in the desert, and it's home to a federally protected endangered species by the name of the Devil's Hole pupfish. You might have heard of this little pupfish. It's been in the news lately because I think its numbers are back up at record highs. At one time, I think there was only something like 20 pupfish left because it only lives on this one little tiny shelf in this mysterious, deep Devil's Hole, which I made a whole video about that. You can check that out if you're interested in the Devil's Hole. Anyway, Ash Meadows is just right over there. So I guess the concern is that if they start drilling all these holes looking for zeolite, well, somehow they're going to tap into the water table and draw it down so that not only will Tacoma and Shoshone suffer some effects, but potentially, I guess, even the Devil's Hole pupfish habitat might suffer as a consequence of this drilling. And I'll be honest with you, I consider myself an environmentalist to an extent, to the extent that I can justify driving a 17, on a good day, miles per gallon, gas-guzzling off-road vehicle. I don't have a leg to stand on when it comes to being an environmentalist. And so that's why in all these kinds of hot button issues, I find that I'm genuinely just somewhere in the middle. I mean, yes, I absolutely cherish the beauty of this gorgeous desert landscape, especially right now with all these yellow wildflowers just blooming everywhere. But on the other hand, I also really cherish my things. I like having this cell phone to shoot this video with. I like having this car to drive around, and I like having these flip-flops to wear, which are probably made out of all kinds of petrochemicals. If I was to call myself a true environmentalist, I don't think it would come across as authentic. So I see both sides of everything, including this zeolite debate. Is it really that bad to drill some prospect holes and then dig out a bunch of zeolite? Especially considering the fact that there has been historically a bunch of zeolite mining in Ash Meadows. And I didn't even realize this, but many years ago, before I lived out here, I went out with my buddy Larry and did a video at an old abandoned brothel that's now sort of within the bounds of Ash Meadows. And we were exploring this old brothel, going in all the old buildings, and I was really puzzled because we kept finding all these empty kitty litter bags. If you watch that video, if you're a real long-time Wonderhussy watcher, well, you might remember that we were in this I thought it was like an old restaurant or motel or something, and I kept finding all these empty bags of kitty litter with Heathcliff printed on them. I guess it was like Heathcliff. Remember Heathcliff? He was sort of like the knockoff Garfield. Heathcliff brand kitty litter. Well, apparently there was a zeolite operation out there back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, I don't know. So zeolite mining has been going on here historically for quite some time. And I don't know of any detriment to the area because of that. But then again, I'm not an ecologist or a biologist or even really a true conservationist. So what do I know? Maybe this new proposed zeolite mine is a bad idea. And I should note that I am not trespassing by coming out here. I mean, I'm very assiduous about not trespassing, and there were no signs and no locked gates or anything like that to come out here. I don't think this company has started mining yet because there's a pretty big backlash against it. In fact, if this is something that you feel passionately about, and I know there are some viewers of this channel who do, because I got at least one message from somebody asking me to cover this topic. If you're really against a zeolite mine out here, well, you can voice your opposition online. You can head over to Friends of the Amargosa Basin's website, which is friendsoftheamargosabasin.org. And I think they have a form there that you can fill out to, I guess, let the BLM know that you don't think this is a good idea. Again, I know nothing. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a biologist. I'm not an ecologist. I'm just a curiosologist. And by that I mean, I'm just curious about all the weird stuff that's going on out here. And so anything that has people all heated up like this is very interesting to me. And so I've been curious for a while to come out here and see for myself what's the deal with this big, bad zeolite mine. And, well, unfortunately, I guess there's really not much to see. But since I was on my way up this highway to the alien brothel anyway, I figured, why not come over here and just take a look around? I mean, look at this rock down here. Isn't this zeolite? It's very lightweight. In fact, it's crumbly, very, very, like, lightweight, almost kind of foamy pumice type rock. I'll bet you anything this is the stuff they make kitty litter out of. Heathcliff brand. And otherwise. Okay, well, since I can't see anything else, I guess I might as well get back in my car and keep on driving up to the alien brothel to meet this British YouTuber, which I don't even know how many subscribers this channel has. I'm willing to help anyone out. You know, I'm just always trying to do a good deed. And, well, I guess in this instance, it finally paid off. Okay, apologies. This is kind of gross, but this is a demonstration of the powers of zeolite. I just took a whiz before I got back in my car, and that zeolite sucked it right up. I don't know if you can tell, like some of the zeolite is white, and some of the zeolite is now yellow, which tells me that I'm dehydrated, and I should probably drink some more water. Okay, I'm here at the world famous Area 51 Alien Travel Center and brothel. Man, it sure is a bummer that the woman I was going to interview got cold feet, because I have a feeling it's very interesting in there. But not to worry, I have a feeling I may be going back up here in a few weeks to talk to some of the women there, so stay tuned for that coming soon. Meanwhile, I don't know where this British YouTuber is. I mean, I got here like 15 minutes early, and if I drove all the way out here just to be stood up, well, I just might have to light up the world's biggest firecracker and stick it where the sun don't shine. Just kidding. I actually just saw the people I'm supposed to meet with, and they're waiting for me in that car right over there. What's the name of your YouTube channel going to be?
We're new.
So you haven't started yet?
No, well, the first one was in Vegas, second one out of Vegas.
Okay, but they're new, but they have like at least minimum 3-person production crew. So I think it's going to be a pretty exciting video. You'll share the link with me when it's done, right? So that everybody watching can see it. Okay, great. So the idea is I'm going to drive around the perimeter of Area 51 while I tell them about, well, my limited knowledge of it. Okay, it's actually the next day. It's real windy today. Sorry for all the noise. Anyway, my interview with the YouTubers went well. They were doing a video about Area 51. I think I mentioned that. And so all they really had me do was drive them around the perimeter to the main gate where you can go into the Nevada test site in Mercury, and just kind of stop there and look at the signs that said, you know, no trespassing, use of deadly force authorized. And well, I don't really know if it was worth driving all the way up there for or not, but I got that gas money, and the British YouTuber gave me $20 gas money too. So I made $120 yesterday just for driving up to the alien brothel. Anyway, I'm back out here in the desert, obviously, because there's something even better than everything I've already talked about in this video that I need to address. My sister and I are getting ready to go over to Villa Anita to meet the new puppies. Jack, you're building a puppy corral? Is that what's going on?
So we fenced in this outdoor area. They're going to have a nice shaded...
So you're going to move the mom and all the pups over here?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mom and 14 puppies.
Oh, look who it is. It's Kirsty, the artist. Oh, hi. I didn't even realize you were in town.
Yeah, just doing some hammering, you know.
Oh, so you're multi-talented, not just a painter. Okay. Wow, Carlo, is that your puppy rescue outfit? Okay, come to find out, the neighbors found a pregnant dog running around the desert, and she ended up having a litter of 14 puppies under a shed in their backyard. So Carlo and Jack offered to take all of them in, give them a safe space, and try to find homes for them when they're old enough to adopt. Now, if you watched my video about Villa Anita, you know that Jack and Carlo are huge dog lovers to begin with. So it made sense for them to step in and help with the puppies, but they were also super kind and loving toward the mama dog. And I think part of it might have had to do with the fact that one of their own beloved dogs just passed away. Gentle giant Guido. The pain of Guido's passing is still pretty fresh at Villa Anita, so in a way, I think helping to care for this mama dog and her pups is a way for Jack and Carlo to honor his legacy.
There she is. There's new mama.
Oh my gosh. Oh, the runt. Oh no, bring him over here. Come here, little baby. What are you doing? Oh, then what you want? You're trying to suck on me? Oh my god. I only have 2 nipples and neither one is making any milk. Sorry.
You're touching it. So how many are there?
Oh yeah, now that we're here. I counted 10.
10?
Okay, yeah, I think I see 10, yeah.
Wow.
Unless
10.
there's 5 on the one side and 6 on the other.
Well, it could be, you never know. 10 very well used nipples. Will you be getting a puppy?
Oh, who, me?
Oh my god! I could lay in here with 14 puppies all day long, but unfortunately, it's time for us to get going. But Jack, you guys are gonna keep these pups here at Villa Anita?
Yeah, so they'll be here, and we are wanting to adopt them out.
Oh, you're not gonna keep all 14?
Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to with our 5 babies already.
So, but you're looking to adopt these pups out?
Yes, and we believe that they're Shepherd Lab mixes. The mom is very docile and mild-mannered.
So, if people are interested in adopting one of these puppies, what do they do? How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so there's 14 of them, and we'd love them to go to good, beautiful homes. They can call us at 914-434-1553 or 760-852-4595.
Serious inquiries only.
Or you can get a hold of us via Instagram. We are Villa Anita DV on Instagram, or on our website, Villa Anita in Death Valley. Look us up.
And I'll put all that information in the description to this video. I'm sorry, Eliza, we have to go.
Okay.
But guess what, guys? We will be back.